Hi, I'm Dr. Kenny Levine. Welcome back to Health Talk, streaming on the web at www.tvchannel19.com. I'm here this evening with Perry Giordanelli, the owner of Allen Weiss Hearing Aids. Perry, welcome.
Nice to be here, Kenny. Thank you so much for having me.
You know, Perry, it's great to have you here. You've been so helpful to me and members of my family. We're going to talk about that, but tell me exactly what you do, what your credentials are.
I am a licensed hearing aid specialist. I am board certified in hearing instrument sciences, and I have a degree in audio prosthology.
That's a mouthful.
It is. My mom actually thinks I'm a doctor because I wear a white jacket, although I'm not MD.
Okay. Give us I know you have a personal background as to how you got involved with hearing aids. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes, I'd be happy to. I was a stockbroker, investment banker in New York City for quite a few years. And unfortunately, I was diagnosed with Meniere's disease. And I wound up with an 80% hearing loss in one ear and a 20% hearing loss in the other. And all of a sudden, I found myself my career ended. And so I wind up going back to school and for hearing instrument sciences. And I bought Allen Weiss hearing aids, and the rest from there has pretty much been history.
Those of us who have had perfect hearing don't realize how important it is.
So true.
As you explained to me personally, as we get older, we lose certain aspects of our hearing. I know myself, I lost the higher frequencies. A funny story, I went to see you and I said, you know, Perry, my wife said, and you said, stop. And what you said to me was, your wife says you don't hear her. And I said, how do you know? And you said to me, I know. And then I said to you that when I watch TV, I can hear the men better than the ladies. You want to talk about that, how that happens?
Yeah, I'd be happy to. And that I feel is probably the biggest problem with hearing aids today is I test people every day who have a 10, 15, 20% hearing loss, and they think they hear perfectly well because hearing loss happens in a very, very slow basis. And there's hearing, and much, much more importantly, there's understanding. And the problem with the presbycusis hearing loss, which is an age-related hearing loss, is...
What was that word?
Presbycusis, age-related.
Thank you.
And as we age, we lose our ability to hear, but much more importantly, we lose our ability to understand what we hear. And therein lies the biggest problem. The problem is, an untreated hearing loss will cause us more sensory neural hearing loss, which is in fact the ability to process and understand the words.
Because there's less stimulation going to wherever it has to go?
In the cochlea of the ear, there are 40,000 hair-like nerve fibers, and these nerve fibers move as sound goes over them. The movement of sound and the movement of the hairs is what makes us understand the difference between the letter F, the letter S, and CH and SH. So we find that in a sensory neural hearing loss, which is predominantly in the senior citizen population, they'll watch some television, they'll listen to some conversation, and they'll mix up some of the words. And as they mix up the words, that is the sensory neural component of the hearing loss manifesting itself by not understanding the words. As you have the untreated hearing loss, the ability to understand the words will get worse on a much quicker basis without being treated.
Now, you had said to me, and say in my case, that I had lost some of the higher frequency, so I couldn't hear the ladies as well as I could hear the men. Is that common?
Very common. The sensory neural hearing loss, the high frequency hearing loss, is the letter F's and CH's and so on and so forth. And as you then listen to female voices, or young teenage female voices particularly, you'll lose the ability to decipher some of that. And it causes a bit of a problem during the course of conversation.
You know, there's a lot of emotion attached to getting hearing aids. I know I put it off for about a year, and now I'm very comfortable with it. How do you get people past that?
It's not easy. You know, vanity is the definitive issue these days, and today we make hearing aids smaller and smaller and smaller. I wear 2 hearing aids, and people are amazed when they hear that I do, because I have very small instruments. But the problem is getting past it is the stereotype of hearing aids being age-related and so on. And it pretty much comes down to people wanting and the ability to hear and understand. Most importantly, understand better.
Again, this is Dr. Kenny Levine with Health Talk. We'll see you in just a moment. Thank you.
Your ear consists of 3 parts: the outer ear, the middle ear, and the inner ear. These all work together to pass sound through your ear and to your brain.